Hey there, welcome to a video discussing the classwork for 2.1. And you guys should already have hard copies of these because I asked you guys to pick up a copy during our first class meeting on Thursday of last week. If you can't access it, if you go to Schoology, right here, and the Wi-Fi is a little slow where I'm staying here in Arizona, but hopefully cooperates. If you click on chapter 2, you should find all the classwork there. So we're going to be working on 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4. Let me ignore that note, only do the problems on the first page. Yeah, I told you the Wi-Fi is a little slow here. Here we go. Save that. And 2.4 part 2, that's weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. Don't think I have that sheet, but that's going to be homework, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, that's homework. So let me remove that so it's not confusing. Let's see here. Let's go back. Delete. There we go. Okay. So 2.1, 2.2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. We're going to be working through those today. Let me pull up 2.1 and talk about that in this video here. So here you have to select the next figure in the pattern. And you can see the odd answers are provided. So I'll do the evens with you guys in this video. So you can feel like you can do the odds on your own, and then of course, check your answers. So here you see a quarter circle right here, a quarter circle right there, and a quarter circle right there shaded. So my guess is it's going counterclockwise, CCW for short. So it starts in the upper right, upper left, lower left. So my guess is the next pattern will be right over here. In the lower right. And then here you see they add square, then 2 more squares here, and then a square here, and a square there. So it looks like you're doing 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. So my guess is you're going to be doing 5 by 5 in a way. And then 5 down. And of course, then you just kind of fill in the gaps here. And there you go. So it goes 5 by 4 by 3 by 2 by 1. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. So you see 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let me backtrack. Yeah, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 all the way down. So this is pattern recognition. Here, describe the pattern in the numbers. Write the next number in the pattern. Looks like here we're adding 5. Looks like here we're multiplying by 3. It looks like here we're adding 4. So the next number here would be then 25. This would be 162 if you use a calculator. And this would be 4. So you'll try the odds on your own. So again, look for pattern recognition. Shouldn't be too hard. Conjecture means you come up with a theory or a hypothesis, like what you think is going to happen. based on the evidence. So what evidence do we have here? Says here, use the following products of odd numbers to complete the conjecture by the product of any two odd numbers. Okay. So what theory do we have about multiplying two numbers? So let me put this as a text box. About multiplying okay, that should show up on your end. What theory do you have about multiplying two odd numbers? Let's select that, put a little question mark. There we go. Okay, so 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 5 is 15. Then 5 times 1 is 5. So basically, as you're multiplying all these odd numbers, hopefully you're noticing that the outcome is always odd. Sometimes it might not be obvious, but based on the evidence, if you're multiplying two odd numbers, the outcome is always odd. So approximating two odd integers is odd. There's no way it'll ever be even when you're multiplying two odd numbers. So that's what a conjecture is. It's just trying to understand what you think will happen based on the evidence provided to you. Now here, show that the conjecture is false by finding a counterexample. So square of any integer squared is itself. Okay. So for example, if we'll say the integer I'm dealing with, integer is like a whole number, it could be negative also though, like 4. If I square it and then square root, I get 4. So it looks like it works. However, what if you do this? What if your integer now is negative 4? Well, if you square negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, and root 16 is 4. So now, this is not the original integer. And another thing you have to keep in mind is that whenever you square root, the outcome is always positive. And that's because, actually, let me back up a little bit. Let me clear some space here. Whenever you square root a number, the outcome is always positive. And that's because square root is a function. Meaning, just one output. Hopefully some of you guys cover in Algebra 1. The graph of a square root looks like this. So there's only going to be one y value for every x value. That's actually very important. To be a function, just one y value for each x value. That is very true for all functions. To be a function, that's what has to happen. So that's why you can't put plus or minus. The only time you do plus or minus if you're solving an equation, then you could say that. That's because there are two values that make it work. Also, graphically speaking, y equals x squared looks like this. and y equals, sorry, y equals 16 looks like this. So they would touch in two places. So you have to report two answers. So it's okay for plus minus you solve an equation. You want all possible solutions. But just square rooting a number itself, you just give just a positive value. So anyway, you guys will try the odds and then watch the next video on 2.2.